Okay, now quickly what we're going to do right now is sort of help you understand. You remember we talked about sugar found in these products here on the countertop here, but what I really want to do is sort of make a mental picture in your mind as to how this all works. So let's take a look at when we eat food, and please, I know that my drawings are very rough looking, so just, I apologize. But when we eat food, the food goes into the mouth and instantly carbohydrates in the GI tract turn to sugar. Okay, so any form of carbohydrate, if you're eating, a bagel or toast or bread or cereal or pasta, rice, potatoes, all that converts to sugar directly here. Okay, so what ends up happening is the first thing that happens is glycogenesis, where we actually create glycogen. Now, when we were younger, we created about, let's just say that we used 100% of what we needed glycogen-wise. Well, what we do is as we age, this number starts to dwindle. We lose our muscle mass, and maybe now we only need 50% as much glycogen as we needed before, because remember, the muscles aren't large enough now. So when we do this glycogen uptake, which is the quick charging of that battery that lives in the muscle, the glycogen uptake is the first thing that happens. So when we're younger and we have more muscle, a lot of our carbohydrates end up going right back in as an energy source almost immediately. Well, what ends up happening as we age and we lose this muscle and we're not eating the protein that we should, and we'll talk about that later, is the glycogen need goes way down. So that's when the body says, wow, we need to produce some major amounts of insulin to take up the reserve energy source. Okay? Because remember, we can't leave the sugar in the blood, it will kill you. Okay, so the body produces this stuff called insulin, and the liver works with the pancreas to do that. And the insulin is the fat hormone. So this is how this takes place. So understand, when you eat a food that converts to sugar, and again, I keep harping on this, but I don't care what that food is. People want to defend their carbohydrates because they taste good. I get it. I understand that. But don't defend something that's actually pretty much killing you. Okay, so understand, carbohydrates are bad, bad, bad. But these are not foods that we need. However, we are going to get some through our daily diet. So I want you to understand, we take food in. If food has carbohydrate in it, it then converts that carbohydrate to a sugar. If it's sugar, it doesn't have to do anything, it's just sugar. And then the first thing is the fast uptake to the muscle is glycogen. That's the first priority for the sugar for its energy. We're done then, okay? At that point in time, any surplus, any extra carbohydrate is going to create insulin, and insulin makes us fat. End of story. Fat and unhealthy, okay? So, I wanted to go over this because this is very important. This is a video 2. In video 3, I'm going to set you up for the perfect diet and teaching you how to get the right amount of protein, and also teaching you that animal fat really isn't that big of a deal. It's not a problem, and I'll tell you why and how it might be a problem if used incorrectly. So this is the first thing I wanted you to understand, is how this all happens, and it's just a really brief, there's a lot that goes into this, but this is just really brief just to give you a quick idea of, okay, this is why this is happening. I'm losing my muscle, so my glycogen isn't as needed. There's not as much of it needed. So now I can see why we're starting to form a little bulge here, and things are just starting to get a little heavy everywhere, because again, we're losing this. In the next video, we're going to talk about how to keep this and how to eat appropriate to do so. So we'll see you right back in the next video.